I have selected as the title of my remarks tonight, "The President and the Press." Some may suggest that this would be more naturally worded, "The President versus the Press," but those are not my sentiments tonight. But I do ask every publisher, every editor, and every newsman in the nation to re-examine his own standards and to recognize the nature of our country's peril.
Well, hello, my fellow Americans and fellow Christians, and thank you for joining me for one more day of peace and freedom here in the United States of America. Peace be unto you, and peace be in the world. My fellow Americans, the TV free-for-all, magnifying and propagating protests against the Trump election is not a difference of opinion, but an intensity of psychological propaganda meant to divide this nation. There is no doubt that what we are witnessing is a psychological reaction of the last 8 years of the sight game of the Obama administration. The last 8 years have been filled with the urgings to oppose anything proper or idealistic in this nation. From the legalization of a mind-altering drug to the destruction of our Christian values, including infiltration of other cultures and the changing of American heritage, the Obama administration has sought to brainwash millennials into thinking deliberate contradiction is the lifeblood of this nation. Two facts are before us. The protesters are compromising the security of our nation, and the mainstream media are the antagonizers of it. The mainstream media is no less an antagonist as the rockers who sing songs that destroy the minds of the listeners, preaching anti-establishmentarianism. Now, it is said debate is a necessary procedure for education, but what we are witnessing is not an openness for discussion, but blatant and deliberate civil disorder egged on by hateful men and women in the mainstream media. The mainstream media is not only an antagonist, but anti-American in their actions. There is the higher law, though, of love of country, which can shut down the mainstream media programs. Just by you and me turning the switch or changing venue, the journalists will not have a word to say in our living rooms. But journalists today are not the saviors of our country or objective in their reporting. They choose to fight and irritate the will of the American people. They are traitors to the welfare and happiness of the American citizen, destroyers of our national interest. Censorship by the FCC is passive. It is non-existent. So where does censorship come in? It must at this time be applied by you and me, the American citizens, by tuning out and not listening. It is up to us to protect our country and the American ideals we love and cherish. We must understand there are evil souls among us who use the media as a source to downgrade, ruin, and destroy American values and heritage. And the best way to eliminate them is, like I said, by turning them off, by not listening to them and listening to their anti-American rhetoric. This would take discipline, but it is necessary for the strength of the country. We, the public, must begin to comprehend journalists misrepresent the true sentiments and qualities of this country. We, the public, can regulate what we watch and listen to. It is a sensible approach which in turn will turn the tables and baffle the media and stop their misrepresentation of the will of the country. This, however, goes far deeper. Someone made the comment after Donald Trump was elected and the protesters walked the streets. And they said, this is what happens when every kid gets a trophy. This is a great analogy. What is truly has to be seen is it is a lack of discipline and the fear that little Johnny or little Mary will rebel or cause trouble or a scene at home The protesters you see today lack the moral stamina of acceptance, like little Johnny or little Mary. They are the byproduct of misguidance and parental laziness and carelessness of the past. The mainstream media is a product also of this undisciplined behavior as well. Thus, the rebellious you see in our nation, walking hand in hand, the protesters and the mainstream media. For years, the attack from our enemies, infiltrating our youth, has demoralized their thinking, and the mainstream media has helped to achieve our enemies' goals. America used to respect the 10 Commandments. And the one commandment I would like to address today is the one that we all know. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. We were taught that if you broke a commandment, somehow, some way, it would not only affect your character, it would affect the nation. But this does not have to be proven in our time. It is quite obvious America is wallowing in the mire or the mud it has made for itself by rejecting this wisdom. This, of course, is rampant in wickedness in our country today. Not only does the mainstream media lie and deceive, they falsely report to discredit. They use false testimony to assassinate character. They also use it to cause rumor. In fact, it thrives on false scandal. They see it as an effective way to damage an opponent or start false gossip or a nasty suspicion about someone. We today do not have the discipline of importance. The discipline of importance of raising our children. The discipline of importance of being an example to the world. The discipline of importance of standards and ideals of living. The discipline of respect and dignity we should have for ourselves, and the discipline of importance of faith and love of country. These things are not only waning in authority, they are lost sights in the minds and the hearts of our youth today. And without these, we are an unsanctified country and a divided people. So may we no longer bear false witness and stand together as one nation under God, indivisible. For that is the power and the strength that we can have within ourselves as a people, as a common goal and common purpose, that we may unite as a people and stay strong, prosper once again, and be a powerhouse of example and a shining light for the rest of the world. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.